Evening, gang. Sunday, the 13th of April 2025. Evening and welcome to tonight's little Sunday night chat show. Yeah, when I say it's the 13th of April, I don't realise how quickly it's all gone, because look, that if they're the two sort of things on my calendar, and we're already down there on the first one. Do you know what I mean? Once again, another example of how time just tears away and we can't stop it. Actually, one of the things we're going to look at later is your signs of being old. Is there anything in particular, that has made you sort of feel old, or perhaps when you first noticed you started getting older with various things? Don't necessarily have to be ailments or anything like that. But we're talking about that a little bit later on. And you can call in. Oh, probably won't, but never mind. You can call in if you want a little bit later on. All right, so that's happening on the show today. A funny day of the weather, to be honest. Started off this morning. I got up late, about 8:15 this morning, which is late for me. But I've decided not to set the alarm for Sunday anymore unless I'm playing the early mass at church, which involves getting up at 7:15. After I've gone to bed at 1 in the morning, maybe asleep 1:30 if I'm lucky. So it's a bit of a push to 8:31, but it needs to be done. So now I don't set the alarm anymore, and I started doing that last week. And this morning I woke up at about 8:15, which was fine, and the sun was out. And it was really nice, as indeed it has been for the last 2 weeks, to be honest. It's been beautiful weather down here in the south. The only thing is very dry, because even in all that dullness that we had for weeks, just so dull and boring, there was no rain. We haven't had rain here for ages, until this afternoon. As I say, sun nice this morning. And when the church come out, as I was walking down to the Marks and Spencer's to get a few of those, it's very, very, very sad, really. Meals for one, As I was getting a few meals for one. Anyone else have to get meals for one? Vera from Vera's Choice in the Morning. I think she gets meals for one. Usually I do it myself, but there was a couple of things in Marks and Spencer's, and I don't really buy those anywhere else. They have a section of meals for one, and their stuff is so nice. My favourite thing in there at the moment is the vegetarian casserole, which comes with 2 little dumplings in there. Not the same sort of size dumplings as your mum used to make. You know what I'm saying? Just 2 really nice little dumplings, and it's quite. I don't know what they've put in it, but it tastes delicious. So I got that. And I thought, I'll have vegetables with that. And I thought, no, well, I've got vegetables in that. So I got myself some of that nice deli-style coleslaw. Should be nice for £3.50. Deli-style coleslaw. And as I'm walking around, I thought, do you know what? I can't even be bothered to do potatoes today. And I bought a pre-made package of mash. Madness. That's a very rare thing I do, because it had got quite late. Because at the church this morning, it was Father Danny's birthday. Nobody knows his real age. No one knows his real age. And someone made a massive cake. I think we've got a lady in the church who makes cakes. Her name's Isabella. I think I've spoken to her once. But often, if someone's got a birthday, they'll have a cake made by her, and they send it into the church hall, and we all have a bit. So I was very much looking forward to that, right at the end of Mass, because it was a solemn Mass today. What with the Passion being read and all that business, doing the right at the beginning of the Mass there. And right at the very end, Deacon Aidan came on and said it's Father Danny's birthday today, and we all sang happy birthday. And he had this great big cake, which he showed us, and he was holding it. Paul, who sits next to me, if I'm not playing, I sit in the congregation. Paul, he's got, so Father Danny gets this big cake, it's a huge cake, shows it to us. I'm saying to Paul, oh, please drop it. Please drop it. I just wanted to see him drop it. Isn't that awful? Why would that even go through my head? Why am I looking at for comedy in anything I can possibly find? I am. It's the truth. Anyway, so after that, I was having a little bit of a chat with a couple of people in the main church bit. Meanwhile, tea and cakes and biscuits are going on in the little church hall next to us. which I don't ever really go to after the 10:30. I like to be out and start doing my shopping and things like that. I only go to Marks and Spencer's and back, 20 minutes, that's all, which is kind of at the other end of town. But a 20-minute, like a, I don't know, like 7-minute walk from the church. Eventually I finished that and I went into the church hall and there's this massive queue for tea. Massive queue. Well, I thought I was in passport control, to be honest, in this country or America. Because we can't do passport control, can we? Or the Americans. Oh, no, no, no. They'll have one little old sod sitting there on the passport control and queues 10, 15, 20,000 miles long, going outside the airport terminal all the way down the M4, joining with the M25 and back to Bracknell. That's how long the queues are. Why can't we do passport queues in this country? But that's in the show as well today. You see how I'm linking it all together here? BBC, you see? I'm a BBC person. Well, I was for 3 minutes, but that doesn't matter. I was on the telly. Hey, sis, if you're watching this, have you been on the telly? BBC One, sis? No? Any subscribers watching you on there, dear? Oh, my sister's been going on again. Oh, we're meeting subscribers. She loves it. She loves it. When she first started doing those videos, she hated it. She hated people coming up to her in the street. Now, she can't wait. I think she purposely walks up and down where she is to be spotted by subscribers. Anyway, carrying on, boys. No, I'm not jealous. Carrying on with this. So I went in there and I thought, join the back of the queue. And it's moving forward slowly. And then other people join behind me. And I'm looking, where is this cake? And I'm seeing people walk off with these beautiful little bits of cake with the cream and the cream around the outside and all this, as made by the delightful Isabel, who I must locate her in case I want to get a cake done for someone. And I got to the front of the queue, and in front of me is Vilma. Now, Vilma, she's a lovely, lovely lady, and she plays the violin. Now and again, she doesn't do it all the time. She brings her violin and she's prepared and plays along with me playing the organ, or Sheila playing the guitar, or whoever happens to be there at the time. Anyway, so she's just in front of me. I said, Vin, where's all the cake? I can't see the cake. She says, I don't know. She says, is it that? I said, no, it's not that one. That looks like some sort of iced bun on there. That don't look like the cake. So she said, is there any more cake? She said, oh, there's one piece left, which she got. No cake left. And the lady said, oh, that's the last one. I said, oh, you're joking. No, there's no more left. Well, people must have been taking bits home for their friends. Great, isn't it, eh? Couldn't even get a piece of cake. I was so disappointed. But Vilma, in her kind Christian heart, then proceeded no more than to go and get a small teaspoon and offer me a piece of her cake. Isn't that nice? No, I didn't take half of it. No, I didn't. I took a small piece off the corner with the cream. Oh, it was delicious, this cake. Better than them pre-packaged things you get in Tesco's, you know what I mean? I mean, don't get me wrong. They're all right. You know those Sainsbury's birthday cakes made in some sort of factory somewhere, I suppose. They're all right. But they're not homemade, are they? And you can tell, I don't care what anyone says, you can tell the difference. Or the, what's the ones that I order sometimes? Not Sara Lee. Patisserie, something patisserie. Is it Vows? Vows patisserie, is it? No, that's not right. Vows, in it. Petite Valerie. That's what. I ordered them from Petite Valerie before, if it's my mate's birthday, or he bought me one for my birthday this year and has done a few years. We usually get them from there. But I'm going to seek out Isabella next time I want one and get one done by her. That'd be really nice. Does anyone make their own cakes here as a matter of interest? If it's like a birthday or something like that? Eh? I remember my sister's birthdays, and my father, he worked in Evening Standard in Fleet Street. And when it was his birthday, someone's birthday, he would go. I don't know where he went, actually. He went to some sort of bakery around where he was working, and the cakes he used to bring home for our birthdays were something else. They were something else. There was a particular one year, and I can't remember how old I was, but it was just like covered in blue and white icing, and it was delicious. Why is it that as I got into a teenage year, and Dad would carry on doing this till I was, I don't know how old, 20, something like that, and as it went on, you just did not appreciate it. Why is that? Why is that? Didn't appreciate it as I got older. Now, of course, I do. Bit late now. Can't tell him now, you know, unless I'm standing around the grave, which I do. Believe me, I do. You know. Anyway, so no cake left after that small spoonful. So I had my pound out ready to buy a cup of tea. I thought, well, if there's no cake, I'm not buying a cup of tea, and I put my pound back in my pocket. I had my spoonful of cake and went down to Marks and Spencer's and bought some dinner. What can you do? So very disappointed. And while I was sort of walking down there, I noticed it had clouded over, quite grey. So I thought I'd better get myself back here. So I went back to my new electric bike. And it's all happening last week. It all happens last week, right? I had my new electric bike, which has got 2 of those D-lock type things. You know, the things I made are like a solid thing. I've got an old one that I've had for, oh, God knows, 20 odd years. And I bought a new one as well. I can't remember the make now. Bax or so. Starts with B, I'm sure it is. BTAS, BCAS, something like that anyway. It's got a good rating. And I lock it up with both of those. I'm still not happy leaving it because it's a good looking bike. Do you know what I mean? It does look very nickable, this bike. And when I sat in with Paul, he said, what you got there? And I said, sorry, it's my bike out. He said, where's that then? I said, I've chained it to the railing in the church car park. He says, what, in Bracknell? I said, do you think it'll get nicked? He said, well, a lot of bikes go missing in Bracknell, and they do. Right? I said, do you think it would be better? Because there is a bike rack right in front of the shopping centre access, Princess Square. So I said, do you think it'd be better there? He said, no, it'd be even easier to nick. But they'd have to have one of those angle grinder things. I don't think you can open it, like pick a lock or something like that, can you? Anyway, so that was my day. And I came back here. I'd done the lunch. And the reason I bought the ready meals was because I've had quite a little bit to do today. Do you know what I mean? And I didn't want to come back and then another half an hour doing lunch. I just wanted it quickly. So I shoved these things in the microwave. And very delicious it was too, to be honest. I watched then Casualty. I've watched Casualty today on the telly. And then, what did I do after that? I can't remember. I think I was doing... Oh, yeah, I was getting the show ready. And which might be a little bit less time today. Might be a bit shorter today. Because I've still got to empty my car out. Because they're coming to repair it. They're taking it away tomorrow, between 10 and 2. And they'll put the new mirror on the side. I assume they'll put a new mirror on the side or do whatever they do to it. But a bloke comes and collects it. It's good, isn't it? I think they were called AHC or OHC. Hang on, I'll tell you what they're called. Perhaps you know something about them on here. Some of the car blokes who like to go on and on about car parts and have 10-minute conversations about the latest nut that's been released in B&Q. How bleeding interesting. Halo ARC, Accident Repair Centre. Halo, HALO. And I looked up on the map and I think it's going to Slough, but I don't know. No, which is an absolute dump. That's on the same sort of level as Croydon. Croydon, Slough, all places like that, horrible places. So that was my day. Then I've had a little sleep and here I am. Right, let's say hello to some of you today. Don't forget, use the text, gang, to get straight to me. 07451 287 337. Number's right up there in the corner of the screen, okay? Luke's there. Good evening, Luke. Welcome along, Luke. Hello to you, sir. Luke in Peterborough. Thank you, Luke. He says, hope you're well today. I've been watching Morecambe and Wise, The Lost Tapes. Bring me sunshine. Oh, I must do that, the karaoke. I used to do that one. Vera, can you make mental note of that? Or just be mental, one or two. I don't mind. Yeah, Morecambe and Wise. Bring me sunshine. Bring me something. Da-da, laughter. All the while. As you can hear, I do need the words coming up in front of me on a large computer screen. Thank you, Luke. Evening to the lovely Mark Bowles. Evening to you. What DIY disasters have you had? Why is it you want me to have DIY disasters. I mean, some of these can be fatal, fatal. No one cares. No one cares. You'd be sort of someone who would turn up at my funeral, Mark Bowles, and then look at the coffin and then make, you know how he died, didn't you? Oh, wait till you hear this. You'd be one of those, wouldn't you? I know you would. Eh? There's been no DIY disasters. Nope. Don't think I've had any DIY disasters at all. Although it does upset me when I look in the room next door and see the 2 holes that are in the wall from the last time I tried to put a telly on the wall in this room, because I went straight through the 2 bits, didn't I? Never mind. Some things we're not supposed to do, aren't we? Evening to there's Jason. Evening to Jason. Vera, built in Scotland. Evening to you. Good evening to William. William is missing you. Or missing me. I'll be missing you. La 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 la. Todd Terry. I'll be missing you. Thank you, William. Welcome along to the show, William. Hello to Kevin Woodruff. Evening to Kevin. William's always working. I know. You're the same as me, William. I spent a lot of time, similar to you, always working. Although I used to turn up at DJing places, I used to work 8 sessions a week, every night and Sunday afternoon in a pub of some sort somewhere. I did that for years and years and years. And I'd come back here, and obviously turning up to do DJing is not just it. You've got to get the music together. Then I was making CDs for various venues and doing sound stuff and all that. I never stopped. Seriously. There's a long period of my life that is devoid of television. Certainly the 90s, when I was at my busiest, and right the way through the 90s. I was so busy. Lucky, but I liked it like that. But I did give like 150% to my job and nothing else. Everything else was pushed aside for my job. That's just how I was. It's not the right thing to do if you're sort of a young person thinking, oh, that's how he got on. Well, yeah, but you do suffer in other ways. For example, relationships. Anything that stood in the way, no, they're gone now. That's just how I was. In hindsight, and it's a great thing, hindsight, not necessarily the right thing to do. You've got to find time for other things, like going away or something like that. I didn't have holiday for years and years. Hello to Greg. Evening, Greg. Alan Davies there. Hello, Alan. Alan Davey. Was amazing times, though, Chris. And good, I don't know what that word is. Karaoke and definitely some good karaoke and definitely good singers. Oh yes, I mean I still do karaoke now, as you know. That's at Central Station in Wharfdale Road, King's Cross, every Friday and Saturday night, 7:30 to 11 p.m. I've been there 10 years now. 10 years doing karaoke in the same place. Amazing. I never thought I'd do a 10-year karaoke thing. I mean, I did DJing in a couple of places, 18 years each venue. But the karaoke, I think the longest one I had was about 6 or 7 years, and this one's 10 years now, and doing extremely well at the moment. Again, we've had a lovely weekend. You can always watch my karaoke gang. If you can't get there, then just go onto YouTube, type in Karaoke London. Okay, and it'll come up at the top there, and then you can watch the karaoke. You can watch last night's karaoke or Friday's now if you want to. If you want to on there, or you can always watch us live. We have 2 cameras now there. I'm considering a third there. But yeah, it's been really good the last week as well. It was particularly good there. Let me just turn this off here. Hang on. Good. Mark says, absolutely I would. He'd be in the funeral. He'd be with all... Of course, you'd be at the front, Mark. I think I'd want you to carry my funeral coffin. I think I would, Mark. Yeah. That would be great. In fact, why not make it a family thing? We could have your little boy walking right at the front, because obviously a little bit too tall, and then you could be behind him, and someone on the other side. Yeah? Because I'm not having any sort of old people carrying my coffin. It's going to be fit lads. Like what the Queen had? She must have selected that lot personally. She said, I don't want any ugly people. Well, there weren't, was there? They were all really good-looking lads. That's what I want, Mark. And you'd fit in. I'd make you in charge, obviously. Maybe in grey track. Don't wear black. No, none of that. Just nice grey trackies. Everyone's dressed in. You could be in a football outfit if you want to. Over Mark says, shorter show, not good enough. Tut tut. Full episode, please, bitch. When are you giving me a piece? It stops there. The sentence stops there. Did you run out of characters or something? Anyway, thank you, Vera. She's written that down for me. Thank you very much, Vera. She reckons they must have hidden the coup and hidden the cake from me, the people at the church this morning. I never got any birthday cake from Father Danny. Evening to Maureen. Welcome along, Maureen. She was there on Friday night as well. Queen of ABBA at karaoke. We love the ABBA stuff. I think she did your new one. Didn't you do a new one this week, I think, that you hadn't done before? Maybe I'm wrong. I can't remember now. It's so long ago now. So long ago. There we are. Fun things. Yeah, that's what I was saying to William there. I always worked. And my father was the same, except he had time for his family, you know. My father was always working as well, always doing like overtime, and he'd leave at 6:30 in the morning, I think he would, and from there he'd get a bus and a train, I think, to Fleet Street, where he worked with the Evening Standard, and then usually come home about 5:30, I think, 6 o'clock sort of time, and then sometimes he'd come in 8, 9 o'clock at night, and then get up again at 6 in the morning. You just don't notice these things when you're a child, do you? How hard your father's working to keep everything together. You just don't notice it. I wonder if my nephews and niece saw how hard their father worked, sort of thing, you know. As in Martin, my sister's husband. You know, when he was working electrician at Sky Television, he used to do that job. Now he does YouTube is their living. For me, it's just a little bit of a laugh, really, you know, just a bit of fun. For them, YouTube is their living, you know, that's how they live. That's where they get their wage from. You know, so it's all different here on YouTube for different people. Fun things to do with tech says, I'm feeling old and just need a holiday, and I need to get off this crazy train like it's been on a roundabout. Is that right? Kevin, yes, always get my meals for one in Marks and Spencer's. Not cheap. They are not cheap, but they're nice in there. Evening to Roy. Evening, Roy. Welcome along to you. What's that one? Number 27 in the house. Smell your what? Number 27 in the house. I don't know what number 27 in the house means. Is that like a TV programme or something like that? I would assume there. Still hello to Roy today. Do you do meals for one, Roy? In Marks or something like that? As a matter of interest. Everyone talking to each other. Good evening to the lovely Karen. Missing you, dear. It's been a while now. Must have been about 4 weeks since we saw you at Central Station. Come on, girl. Get the gang down. I know one of your little tribe was doing his own karaoke, wasn't he, this week on Friday night somewhere. I did see some of that there. All right, William, that's a shame. No cake. Yeah, absolutely. Valerie Patisserie. No, Petite Valerie, that's what it's called. Petite Valerie. Petite Valerie was the cake shop. I knew that. Sparky, he makes chocolate cakes and still makes croissants. Makes his own bread and pastry stuff on a Sunday. I make my own bread, but not by hand. I've got like a bread maker, which is the second one I've had, actually. No, third one now. The first one I got rid of because I put on so much bleeding weight when I was using it. Oh, I couldn't believe it. I got rid of that, and for some years, I didn't have one. And I can't remember what made me get another one, but I mentioned it to my sister. She said, you can have our one. So I used her one for about a year, and then it started malfunctioning, a little bit like myself, to be honest. And I bought one, and I used that. You know, I do make my own bread in the bread machine. He does all his by hand and all that, see. I'm just... Vera says they use bolt cutters. No, I don't think you get bolt cutters through those D-rings. That would get the chains off, not the D-rings. It's like a solid thing. It's not like a chain at all, Vera, there. All right, darling. Yeah, Gary's seen them driving around with cordless angled grinders and the cordless pipe cutters, you see? See, they can still get it if they want it. The idea of locks on bikes and, you know, as many as you want to carry around, really, is the more you put on there or the better they are, the longer it will take them to get it off. There is a particular D-lock that's got a really good rating. I can't think the name of it now. The only thing is, it's a bit short. And I looked at it, 250 quid this item is. But if you've got a bike that's over, many hundreds of pounds, then you should be spending that on it. The only thing was, with this particular one that I looked at, it was a bit small. And I'm thinking, how am I going to get that around a lamppost and my bike? So that's why I didn't buy that one. I can't think of the name of the one I've bought now. Oh, hang on a minute. I might perhaps one of you knows the ratings of it. I took a picture of it because it come with like a little code or something like that you can. I some code. So if you lose your key, you can get another one. It's a little card with a code on it, and I think that's got the manufacturer on there somewhere. Let me see if I can find. Oh, here we are. A bus, ABUS. Anyone know anything about them? ABUS. That's the manufacturer of the lock there, and it comes with a card though, and it says save your personal code. So I take a photo of stuff now. Do you do that? I take a photo of everything. Like if I'm going on holiday or something like that, photo of the passport, photo of the credit cards. Don't forget the back of the credit cards because that's where the phone number is. That you wanna. That you might need to ring it. And don't someone come back and be clever. Ow, what if you lose your phone? I mean, you've got to be really unlucky to lose everything, but that does happen to people, doesn't it? Oh, yes. I was told never, ever use the safe in a hotel room. Actually, I can go along with that, right? Because when me and my mate was in Italy, was that last year or year before? Last year. When we were in Italy last year, we locked the safe and we come back. We couldn't get the safe open again. Couldn't get it open. Would not open. And they're like, you must have got the PIN code wrong. No, how can we both get the PIN code wrong? No, and it's the same PIN code I use for everything. How can you go? So up comes a security bloke with a battery. And you touched this battery inside the thing and then pushed a few numbers and hey presto, the bloody door came open. Well, how safe is that then? Now, I'm not saying that particular person would have broken into the safe, but if he can do it, do you know what I mean? You really shouldn't. And then don't put it, if you've got a little shoulder bag, and my mate is a devil for this. He's a devil for this. He's got like, I call them Ponzi bags because they're expensive. He buys Ponzi bags. I haven't got anything like that. My little shop. Actually, no, I have now. I've got a little Lacoste bag because it was cheap in Orlando. It was something like 60 quid or something like that, 50 quid or something like that. And the one I had before was an Adidas one. I had it for years. Still all right, but it's a little bit scruffy now. Do you know what I mean? He's got bags like 400, 500, 600 quid. Why would you? Why would you have a bag for 600 quid? I don't get it. I think it's terrific waste of money. And then he likes to put it over his shoulder for everyone to see. Look at my bag. I just not like that. I think you're asking for trouble. And then he might have stuff in there like money and stuff like that. Very easy to come along with a pair of scissors, snap it off you. No. So when you're carrying around your money, in your inside pocket, not in your jacket, in your trousers, I mean, it's been a long time since anyone put their hand in my trousers. Maybe Mark Bowles, you might be interested in that, But in your trouser pocket, right down the bottom there. And if you've got shorts or trackies with zips on the side. Because even if someone doesn't nick it, it can drop out. How many of you have lost stuff for those stupid tracksuit trouser pockets? Awful things. Anyway, there we are. Evening to Mr. Jason Rose in East Sussex. Evening to you, sir. That's a nice part of the world, East Sussex. It's all right down there. Evening to Brendan Brady, who remembers the story. Brendan Brady, that rings a bell. I remember your stories when you shopped in the co-op and the lady didn't give you the penny change and just simply told you, ain't got none. Oh, yes, she's still in there. She's become a friend of mine, actually. She's hilarious, actually. She's quite funny. Although I haven't seen her for some weeks. Maybe she's left now. She might have gone now. Welcome back to the show, Brendan. Yeah, we've only just come back, actually. I was off for about 2.5 years. And I was doing other stuff. I do a little radio show as well now, Brendan. I'll tell you about that a little bit later. Evening to the big... good evening to Big G. He was there last night. Oh, Whitney Houston. Yes, Gary. Yes. Now, you see, Whitney Houston, Gary, Big G 1310 there is Big G who comes to the karaoke. Mr. Depressing Songs. Oh, please don't do Personal Jesus. Oh, my God. There's another one. There's another one to add to the list. You may have noticed last night, anyone's watching the stream, someone did My Way. They thought they were going to get that at the end. No, don't think so. Swapped it round, didn't I? We ain't finishing with that bleating, depressing song. Thank you very much. Happy songs, please, people. But there are ballads that are not depressing. Whitney Houston's Saving All My Love For You is one of them. It's a lovely ballad and it's not depressing. And to be fair, Big G did it last night and it was quite nice. I think by that time I'd put the cymbals away, had I? Can't remember now. Oh, no. No, there isn't anywhere for the cymbals in that one, I don't think. No, there's nowhere for the cymbals in that one. That's why you didn't get them there. He reckons I should do the Cannon and Ball song. Now, there's another happy song. La da 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 da. So the one who's still alive, I can't remember which Cannon or Ball. One of them died. The one with the curly hair died, didn't he? Is that Rock on Tommy, or is that? I don't know. Anyway, one of them died. The other one who's still alive has his own TikTok channel, right? And now and again he's on there. And it's just incredibly sad. You can't work with someone for years and years and years and not feel something for them, can you? And there he is. He's got his own little TikTok and he does the occasional video on there. And I'm watching him, he must be sitting at home, same as I'm doing here. But it's a bit different for me because I haven't been on a big variety show on the telly on a Saturday night at 8 o'clock, have I? I'm just in here. It's always been like that, so there's nothing for me to miss. It's true, but that's okay because I'm happy doing this. I don't really have an ambition anymore. Because all the ambitions I've got, well, no, that's not true. Some of them came true, but I'd like to have done my own, I don't know, light entertainment thing, or done a quiz show on the telly, on the proper telly, or something like that. But that's okay because I'm still kind of doing it now. But for someone like the Cannonball, whichever one it is left, for him to now, have been on Saturday night with his mate doing those hilarious things, and of course, all you see on the telly is the stuff that they've been practicing for weeks and weeks, and rehearsing, and writing lines, and learning scripts. We just see the end result. You know what I mean? You don't see all the other work there. Well, they must have been working together, and they were great. We had a few, didn't we? Can you think of any others? Morecambe and Wise, Two Ronnies, Cannon and Ball, Hall and Pace. No, I didn't really do them. Did ITV have their own double acts? I'm not sure they did. They did have double acts on there, but I think they kind of bought them bought them over from the BBC. I'm trying to think if they had their own double act on ITV. Now, of course, days it doesn't matter. You can go on both channels. Doesn't matter, It's the same 6 people doing every damn show. My God, it's boring. It's boring. Luke, here we go. Bobby Ball was the one that died. Thank you there, Luke. Bobby Ball was indeed the one who died. So it's Cannon who's left, isn't it? Cannon who's left. Great. Rock on, Tommy, and all that business. But yeah, a great song that in actual. And you see how they're both happy. Happy. Ken Dodd. There's another one. His song, Happiness. That one. Yeah. Bring me sunshine. Morecambe and Wise. And la da 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 da. That's probably the more tuneful one. I'll have to see if I can get that on karaoke because that is a happy song. I've got to be honest. Sometimes when I'm looking at these singers at the karaoke, and you're trying to work out where the last ballad is going to fall because you do not want to go out on a depressing ballad. You know, so I'll swap a couple round. But then if you see three together, I do think to myself, you know, maybe I'll just do the last song on my own. But the trouble is everyone knows exactly where their place is. I mean, a lot of these karaoke people, they're quite mad, you know. They are quite mad. They know exactly where their position is in the line. And they hate it when someone new comes in and you have to slot them in. Well, what are you supposed to do then? You've got to slot them in to go. But I just, you know, I do think to myself, maybe you should just finish yourself and do a happy song, like something from ABBA or something like that. And I think, oh no, they're not going to like that because they will see their position taken, if you see what I mean, you know. So I do try and work it out so we finish with something happy, not "Can You Feel the Bleeding Love Tonight" or something like that. Can you feel the... Which is a lovely song, but not one to finish a night with. We want to go out singing, dear, singing. I mean, they weren't singing on the stage. I'd like to go and sing as they go out there. Thank you, Big G. Stu's there. He says, when are you going to sing Poor Unfortunate Soul again? I had that lined up for last night, but it got busy. And the way I run the karaoke, the customers must come first in this, right? So if there's a lot of customers, if I sing, they lose a song. Do you see what I mean? So that's why I don't... If it's a busy night, I generally don't sing. Unless someone of importance, you know, says, "Can you? I really want you to sing this song," which does happen occasionally, not very often, once in a blue moon. But I don't really like to sing if it's a really busy night because they have come to they haven't come to see me sing. I know that's hard to believe. I try and convince myself that they have come to see me sing, but actually they haven't. All right. So that's the only reason that's Stu there. Yeah, Roy does the meal deals in Marks and Spencer's. Yeah, I thought you might have done. I thought you might have done there. There we go. Ah, Roy, Abus, Good Lock, Hip Locks and Light Lock. It's one of those two. Hip Locks or Light Lock. He said all gold standard security ratings. So there you go. And as I say, you know, none of these locks are 100% foolproof. You know, even banks, as we've learned in the past, are not 100% foolproof. The idea is to slow the robber down, perhaps, so he gives up. I have seen, and it's one of those, either hip lock or light lock, and I've seen that on YouTube where they tested one out with a what are those machines? Handheld axle grinder that Gary mentioned a while ago. And he went through like 4 blades. He had to keep changing the blade, which all takes time and is all more of a risk to the robber that someone might come along and say something, you know, or a policeman or police type person walking past. I don't know. I'll tell you what I saw today in town. I've never seen any before. It was a bit of an odd looking bloke, actually, walking around. He had a uniform on and all various things attached to him on this thing, you know, a little radio, a little camera and all this business. And as I got closer, I said, an enforcement officer. What does he do then? He's just walking around town. He did look a bit odd. He looked very, very odd. What do they do? Enforcement officer. I said, there's no cars in the middle of town. It's a car park, multi-storey car park. So I'm kind of wondering what on earth he does. He weren't really doing anything, just strolling along, looking a bit odd. Anyway, there we are. Derek, good evening, Derek. I had a similar issue with a hotel safe on holiday. There you go. And you ring reception and someone comes up and opens it, you know. Don't forget, gang, do use the text-in thing if you're missing messages. 07451 287 337 is the text number. 07451 287 337. Thank you. Vera says, Together We'll Be Okay by Cannonball is not on your system. It's only 1 minute and 57 seconds long. We may be able to find that one then. With any luck, we might be able to find that one. Mark Bowles. They stop littering and fag butt throwers. Is that what they do? Oh, okay. I didn't know that. Well, he didn't seem to be doing anything, to be honest. What's this Roy has sent me? Thank you, Roy. sent me a picture of his. That's a chain there you've got though, Roy, isn't it? You've got is that hooked in two places or one? I can't quite see from that picture, to be honest. Thank you, Roy. That looks like a chain type thing. Can you get like chain type ones that are the same security as the hip lock thing? I wonder. I don't know. Right. Mick Davenport's there. Cordless grinders. Yeah, I did see these, but as I say, you know, if it's made of certain materials, it really slows them down. I mean, to get through 4 or 5 blades, they must be doing that for like 10 minutes or something like that. Evening to Flash on Air. Greetings to you. Welcome along to Flash on Air today. Danny Davis in the house. He's just been on holiday to Brazil and he's going back again. I think he's fallen in love with Brazil. Haven't you? They're a good-looking race, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? Brazilians. They're all drop-dead gorgeous. I think I was possibly Brazilian in an earlier life. I mean, look at me. Do I look Brazilian to you? I mean, I've got a bit of a tan now, what with all that lovely weather that we've had recently. I think I was probably Brazilian in an earlier life. Jason Hughes, nothing wrong with Whitney songs. There we go. Flash, shall I do Personal Jesus when I come? Well, that'd be a funny time to be singing such a... Oh, I see what you mean. I beg your pardon. When you come to the... when you come to the venue. No, I'm going to actually remove it from the system so that you're not allowed to do it. Personal Jesus, another depressing song. Is it Depeche Mode, that one? I don't even know. God, it's depressing. Yeah, I'd love to sit here now and play you little clips of depressing songs, but we can't do that on YouTube, unfortunately. And good evening to the very delightful Heidi Young. Evening, Heidi. Now, let me tell you about Heidi. She has a caravan on the same place as the luxury Waterside Media Centre television and radio studios is, on the Chapel Hill Marina. Evening, Heidi. It's been lovely weather here, Heidi. She says it's been a lovely weekend. Chilled off today, though. Yeah, same down here, actually, Heidi. Hope you're keeping well from Heidi. Yes, I should be up there now. But unfortunately, a coach took my wing mirror off and slight damage to the wheel, the plastic bit around the wheel arch. I think I've been very lucky escaped not to have the side of the car dented, to be honest. The week, not last Saturday, the Saturday before. So they want to take that in tomorrow to be fixed, and that's why I'm not up there today. Hopefully next week for Easter Sunday. Yeah, looking for Easter Sunday. Thank you. Mark Bowles reckons I'm a Brazilian nut. Yeah, do you think so? Gary Ross, One Moment in Time. Beautiful song. Give me one moment in time. Ba, 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 da, 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 da. I love the Whitney stuff. Not really my voice to be singing that sort of stuff, to be honest. Thank you, Roy. Thank you for sending me a WhatsApp there. They flash up on my TV screen as well there. Just to scroll down quickly here. Bradley Walsh is everywhere. He is. I do like Bradley Walsh. I like he seems to be able to do everything he's given, and he does, and it is him rather than just reading from an auto cue like so many of them are. And to me, it's obvious. I can tell straight away when they're reading a script. But he does throw in his own little bits and pieces as well. That being said, I think he's now in danger of becoming overexposed again. How many times have we had this conversation, people? You know, it used to be one person, one show, once a week. Now it's, you know, one person, 5 shows a week on both channels, on different shows. Same faces all the time. Sick of it. It's boring. It's boring. Boring. Gary, at the end of the night, I'm not even sure where I am. Never mind in the queue. Danny Davis, call. Yeah, you will be able to call in a minute, Danny. Let's give you an excuse to call there. Right, now you're one of the younger people on here, actually. We want to talk today about what have you noticed about getting older. Or you can call us about Brazil if you want. So let me just... I've got the wrong camera on there, haven't I? Why didn't anyone tell me that? There we go. There's the correct camera, sorry. I had the Reach on Air camera now. So many buttons to choose from, dear. Right, so if you want to call in, Danny, you can do so now. I think it's still working, the Skype in thing. 020-8144-3477, Danny. So call in if you want. Tell me, what have you noticed about getting older? Or anyone else that might want to call in. Remember, I can only take one call at a time. It's whoever gets there first. Sometimes no one calls in, and that's fine as well. It's just how it is, all right? What have you noticed about getting older? Or tell us about your Brazilian holiday. The Brazilian nuts. Did you get nuts in Brazil? Yeah. Okay. Tex Sparky cooked a meal for Freddie Starr and Roy Chubby Brown. I like them. Oh, I like them old school comedians. Roy Chubby Brown. I get TikToks from him as well. I don't know if it's him or someone filming him, but he's always very funny. Always hilarious, Roy Chubby Brown. He's not been too well, actually, recently, has he? No. Let me just scroll down there. Gary Ross got a Greg's meal today. Oh, Gary, what, on a Sunday? Oh, come on, man. Mind you, you're not the only one. They're queuing at that Greg's. I don't know if they come and do their shopping, right? 12 in the afternoon, but at about 12 o'clock, I'm out the church walking down to the shops, and there's this queue right the way back to the door at Greg's. Now, is that their Sunday dinner, or are they having a sausage roll and a pasty and a cup of tea, doing the shopping, and then going home and having a full dinner? I don't know. Don't know. Greedy, greedy people. Enforcement officers are there to assist the real workers in case any trouble kicks off. Well, I don't think he could have done much, to be honest, Flash. They catch you dropping litter. They fine you. Look at that. Tommy Hanlon's there. Evening, Tommy. Welcome to the show there. Yeah. So what have you noticed about getting older? Anyone? What have you noticed about getting older? We'll do that. And you can call in about that now, 020-8144-3477 to call in. It's a normal local London number, okay? And Luke in Peterborough, he says, I know I'm getting older now because I have acquired nose hair. Oh. Have you got a thing? Have you got my nose? Yeah, have you ever tried to... I don't know how these women do it. They pluck out hairs from their nose with tweezers. Have you ever done that? It's practically impossible to get one hair as well. You know, you go, like that. What about those Turkish barbers? Well, they shove a load of hot wax up your nose and then pull it out on these, earbuds, don't they? Cotton buds. Right, you ready to go? Seen loads of TikToks of that. Not for me, thank you very much. I had wax on the ear once because I asked for some people do the flame, but where I go now, they don't do the flame. He does wax, so he put wax on the ears like that. He said, right, I'm going to take it off now. Oh, God, why? Why don't you do the flame anymore? I mean, you only get like a burnt ear for approximately, 3 seconds. With that wax, it's like a constant peeling it off. Great pain and suffering has been achieved. Luke says he doesn't watch normal TV programs anymore. He prefers YouTube. Yeah, like a lot of people, actually. My sister doesn't. She don't watch normal telly at all. You can't have a conversation with her about the news. She doesn't know what's going on anywhere. She's not interested in anything like that. Hi, Trev. Evening to Trevor. Sal and Trev met your Sharon and Martin yesterday. Lovely people. You must have been... She loves it. She loves it when people meet her. She says, we met subscribers today. You must have been the ones in the... what's that place? The... that little cafe they go in. Must have been you. Welcome along, Sal and Trev, to the show. Okay? I'm glad you enjoy it. They do put a lot of time and effort into those shows. I mean, it's just constant for Martin, my brother-in-law. He's constantly filming stuff, all sorts of stuff, wherever he is. Cameras. We don't need to bring a camera anymore. The mobile phones are that good now. He hasn't got an iPhone. I can't think what he's got at the moment. Is it a Sam's? I don't know what he's got at the moment, but yeah, he's always filming stuff, and he's got the little tripod and that. Honestly, he works so hard on that stuff. Sometimes I'll be watching the telly in the living room after he's got loads of like clips of stuff and this, that, and the other. And he'd be putting the stuff together in the other room, and we can hear it going on. You know, so it's a full-time job doing that sort of thing. You know, a lot of people think oh, you just take a few clips and then you know, put them together easily enough. And to be fair, if it's a short thing, I can do the whole thing on my mobile phone. You know, remember, we're not BBC or anything like that. But some of these people who do YouTube videos, I mean, they could easily work in television. I tell you what, since we were able to make our own videos and stick clips together and do voiceovers and put music on them, I bet the people in real television were really pissed off with that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, because they were so full of importance. Have you ever met anyone from the BBC when they swan into somewhere? Oh, well, it's so full of self-importance. It's unbelievable. You know, they really are. And, you know, when the BBC and me are in the same room, I'm the more important one. Believe it. That's what I keep telling myself anyway. Vera says she doesn't have nose hair or bushy ears. I wonder what you were going to say about your bush then, Vera, to be honest. Thank you, Vera. Sorry, gang, I've just lost my messages on there. What did I do with those? Is that it? History there? History. I don't know. I've lost them there. Inbound SMS. There it is. Yeah, Luke in Peterborough. He said Google Pixel phones are good. Yeah. The problem is, Luke, once you've bought into a system, and I've bought into the Apple system, you know, to change. And my nephew Gary gave me a phone, and he said I could have kept it if I wanted it. And it wasn't an iPhone; it was the other. What's it called? Android. I couldn't get on with it. I mean, it just meant learning a new system, and I'm a bit lazy, you know. Anyway, I took this. We set it up in his house, and off I went. And I thought the first thing I wanted to do. So I've taken out my SIM and put it in the other car. Now, first thing I wanted to do, as I'm driving back to my caravan, the luxury Waterside Media Centre in Lincolnshire, as I was driving back, I thought, I'll get some petrol. So I went up and filled up the petrol. Then I went in there and I suddenly realised, no Apple Pay on here, is there? And this is all set up on my phone. I don't have cash. I don't have cash. It's all on the phone. I don't even carry the cards around most of the time now. Beep, beep, and it's done. Don't try that in Walmart in America. They don't do Apple Pay. Can you believe that? So click. And, of course, you know, I just happened to have my cards in my car at the same time. What an idiot. And it was immediate. I thought, I can't be bothered. And and then when I got back to the caravan, I took the SIM card out of the phone that my nephew had lent me and put it back in my iPhone. I can't be bothered with that. You know, and there are some damn good and much cheaper Android phones out there, which would do me. I do not need the top of the range, all singing, all dancing mobile phone that is marginally better than the model 5 models ago. Don't need it. When I buy a new phone, it's usually 2 models back to save hundreds of pounds. Hundreds. Not 50 quid, hundreds. Yeah? So that's what I do anyway, you know. This is an iPhone 13. I don't even know what we're on now, to be honest. What are we on now on the mobile phones? iPhone 13. So, yeah, going back to my brother-in-law, he's constantly videoing and putting stuff together, and that's how they make their money. And he researches. To see what people are. I don't do any of that. I've no interest in doing that. You know, I just kind of sit here, do my own thing, and if people like it, great. If they don't, that's all right. Not going to watch, are they? You know, I don't need to attract an audience, really. They need to attract an audience to be able to live. I have different money coming in from other things, you know. Gary, the cameramen from BBC and ITV tried to stop you walking past, have the place cordoned off. Yeah, I think they do. Actually, they were just doing, what's that thing where they do up someone's house on the BBC? You know that thing, whatever that is. DIY SOS, that's it. DIY SOS. They were doing that just up the road. My God, How many people were working on that? It's only on for an hour. It's only on for an hour. I couldn't believe it. Anyway, let's take a call now. It's Glenda in Pennsylvania. Evening, Glenda.
Hello, how are you?
Hello, how lovely to hear your voice. You all right?
Yes, I haven't talked to you for like over 2 years, so I thought I would call in and just say hello.
Is it 2 years? Yeah.
Yes, it's been a long, long time.
Well, I stopped doing it for 2 years, wasn't it? I can't believe it. How time goes so quickly, doesn't it, Glenda? How are you? All right?
Yes. Yeah, I'm doing really well. I'm very happy that Donald Trump has been elected as our president again, so that's made me so happy, and I'm so happy with all the changes that are taking place, and our country's really getting back on track. And I see the same kind of thing that's been happening the past 4 years over here in the U.S. is kind of like what's happening in your country now.
Oh, it's horrendous.
As far as the legal immigration and your country putting them up in hotels and, you know, like, I just see, like, it's the complete same thing that was going on over here. So, but that's all put to a stop now because of President Trump. So I'm really, really happy.
I'm glad you're happy, my love. I'm glad you're happy. You're quite right. We are in a real mess here. We've got, I don't know, what do you call your person who's in charge of the money? You don't call them Chancellor of the Exchequer, do you?
No, I honestly don't even really know. I mean, I follow politics, but I can't tell you the names of people. But I know that, what's his name? Oh my gosh, Elon Musk. He's like doing some checks and balances within our government and finding a lot of fraud, waste and abuse.
You see, what I like about Trump is he's funny. I like his funny bits. And I saw this thing where he was standing in front of a crowd and he's saying about this money that they're going to be saving. And he said, and there's a group here called da-da-da. No one knows who they are. It goes like that. And then he mentioned somewhere else. And he mentioned somewhere else, and they're like, this group of people in whatever country, no one knows where that is. I like the comedy side of him. He's so funny.
He just basically isn't afraid to stand up for he doesn't take people's crap. So, I mean, he doesn't care. This whole tariff thing, I mean, a lot of people here are freaking out over it, but I'm not concerned whatsoever because ultimately I feel like he's just doing what is best for our country. And, I mean, basically, if other countries charge us tariffs to put our products in other countries, then why can't we do the same?
Yeah, it kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
So, well, yeah. So I don't know. I'm happy. I can't complain.
I'm glad you are, my love. Now,
I feel bad for your country though now.
Oh, well, we are in a bit of a mess. We've got this Chancellor of the Exchequer. Rachel Reeves is her name. Boris Johnson, who was the Prime Minister for a while, he's renamed her Rachel from Accounts. And that really stuck in my head. She just takes more and more taxes from people. More and more taxes, trying to sort stuff out. Maybe she will. I don't know. Maybe the NHS will be sorted out by them. They got 4 years to do it. If they were to sort that out, and we all felt a little bit happier, they may well be in with another chance. But the whole migrant thing is way out of control. Way out of control. And I think that's...
Does that mean does that mean that I could just come over to your country and say that I want to live there and I could live there?
What you've got to do is go to France first, right? Jump on, pay some dodgy character a couple of $1,000 to go in a rubber dinghy, which will be overcrowded and has got a good chance of sinking. And then when you get halfway across, we send the Royal Navy out, or wherever it is, to rescue you. You come in and you're welcomed with open arms. And by the way, on your way over here, chuck your mobile phone and your passport in the sea, and then you can pretend that you haven't come from where you've come from. That is what they do. That's what they do, dear.
That's the same thing, though, that they were basically doing over the Mexican drug cartels are the ones that were, like, having these people come over here illegally. Like, they were paying the cartels, like, thousands of dollars for them to get crossed over into the United States.
Yeah,
so it's basically the same thing.
The Australians didn't have any of it. No, years ago they had this problem. They turned the boats around in the middle of the water. No, you ain't coming here. They turn them round.
Mhm.
They don't have the problem there, as far as I know. The Australians.
Well, and if you're like, don't you guys already have problems with housing of the
Huge
people
problems.
that are from your country as
Huge
it is? So
problems.
where are you going to be putting housing up for all these other people that are moving in?
Huge problems. I heard the other day, only last week actually, one of the things we have here is council housing, which should
Yeah.
be for people who can't afford to buy a house.
So it's
Right.
basically like low-income housing here in the United States.
I
That's
think
what it's
so,
called,
yeah.
low-income housing here.
But it's kind of
Okay.
run, it's kind of run by the councils, I think, and various housing associations. And if you want one, you have to go down on a list. On a list. And I heard the other day, one of the councils here, the list, now I don't know how true this is, the list is 100 years long. So you've got no chance whatsoever of getting a place. No chance whatsoever. So they then have to rent privately, right? Which is an option, but that's getting harder now because the landlords have been hit with all sorts of new taxes, this, that, and the other. So a lot of them are selling up. Well, the people who can't afford to buy houses aren't going to buy those houses that have been sold up. Meanwhile, because there's less housing to rent now, the rents of the houses that are available to rent have gone up on the private side of things. And especially if you're a greedy landlord. I'm a landlord. I like to think I'm not a greedy one, right? But if you're a greedy landlord, they just put in their word up and up and up. And it's not a life if all your money's going out on rent and electricity, is it? It's not a life.
No.
You've got to live. You've got to be able to afford, Glenda, for example, to go to Disney World now and again. Happy days.
You should come over to the East Coast and come to Pennsylvania. Why don't you visit your friend in New York since you have your friend now that lives in New York State? You should go over to New York State and then you can come down here. Depending on how far up in New York State he lives, maybe you could come and visit me then.
I would visit you.
I could meet you.
I would. I'm actually going to California in June, only for 1 week though, and it's kind of already planned out. There's a little church there that I've been watching on YouTube called St. Monica's in Santa Monica. And I'm going there on the Sunday, and the hotel just happens to be within walking distance of Disney. So there's another 2 days there. I'll be looking for one of those outlets, see if I can find some more nice, pretty shirts to wear, because I was very happy with the Robert Graham ones that I bought at a very, very reasonable cost. Very reasonable cost. So that's my next thing going on there, Glenda. Can I ask you some question from our little subjects today?
Sure.
And that is, is there anything you've noticed about getting old? When did you first notice you were getting older? And what is it about getting older that is perhaps a pro and perhaps a con?
Well, a pro is you have more wisdom.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You mature. Your maturity. I mean, that's one thing, I think. And, I mean, every day that we get older, even though sometimes, yes, your looks might start to fade somewhat. And as a woman, I think that's kind of a little bit more important to a woman than maybe a man.
Okay.
But other than that, I mean, we should be thankful for every day that God gives us, right?
Absolutely,
so
yeah.
Every day that you get older is another day that God has blessed you with.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you should think of it that way. A con, as I've been getting older, I see that my eyes, I can't read little fine print like I used to be able to. And I think, when I was a little kid or younger, my mom would say to me, "Oh, Glenda, can you read this for me? What's this say?" And I'd be like, "Why can't she read it?" Well, now I understand why. Because, I'll be 44.
Yeah.
Come May 14th, I'll be 44.
Oh, well, that's not old, is it?
Yeah.
44 isn't old. Come on.
Well, no, I don't think that I look it either. And I do try to take good care of my skin. And my mom, she doesn't look her age either. So I feel like I've been blessed with somewhat decent, good genes. But I am trying to do everything that I can to not make myself look older. I feel like I don't, because some women, I feel as they age, they just don't really take care of themselves. They kind of let themselves go. And I definitely don't want to be like that. I exercise a lot more now. Ever since the pandemic, I've been routinely exercising, and I try to walk my dogs. And if I'm not walking my dogs, then I'm exercising. So I feel like that kind of makes you feel better. And I do try to eat somewhat decent. I don't I don't really go out to eat a lot at all. So I like to cook, and yeah, but I do try to take care of myself. I don't want to look old.
No, you haven't had any work done, have you? On your face?
Yeah, I have actually.
Oh, have you? What have you? Can I ask you or
Yes.
not? You don't have to answer.
No, I had my nose done like, oh my gosh, when I was in my mid-20s.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose I did.
Yeah.
Really. I had my teeth done. I used to have buck teeth. Bucktooth, they called me at school. Bucktooth.
Yeah. Yeah, but that's not really that's not a surgery.
Well,
That's
no,
just
I suppose
like
not
them.
really. Yeah, dental stuff, you know.
But did you have braces?
I did, yes, for some
Yeah.
years. But the bonus was I used to have a lot of time off school to go to the dentist to have it done. Happy days, you know. At Kingston Hospital.
Well, I had my surgery, and then the doctor wanted me to go back under a couple months later because something I think was wrong with my septum after the surgery. And I told my boss that I was supposed to get another surgery, and he told me I could not get it done. And I was like, oh, that's really nice. So yeah, he was going to be very upset with me if I took more time off, because at the time I had worked for an attorney, which you call a solicitor. Is that correct? You call them solicitors?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So I had worked for an attorney at the time. And I basically did pretty much everything in that office, and he would come in for the morning, and then like after an hour or two of him being there, he would be like, okay, I'm going home.
Would he? Yeah.
And so then I would be stuck to deal with everything and all the people coming and complaining that he wasn't returning their phone calls. It was, I would never want to work for an attorney again.
Oh, really?
Never.
Okay.
Not that he wasn't a nice person. Like, he was very, very nice, and he treated me well, like very well. But the amount of work when you are a paralegal, like then the stress and pressure that they put on you is just too much. Like, if something gets screwed up, it's your fault. Not that they don't get their like information in the mail and like they don't see the court dates and stuff like that, but God forbid you miss something, it's your fault. Even though they see everything as well.
Must have been an interesting job, though. Must have been an interesting job doing that, was it?
It was. I learned a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was a civil litigation attorney, and he did criminal law as well. So, like, it was a lot of people suing other people, like, for car accidents and slip and falls. And, they always used to say it wasn't about the money, like the clients would. But ultimately, like, when you would offer that, when we would get a settlement offer and you would tell them how much it was, they'd be like, well, that's it? And you think, well, but you said it wasn't about the money.
Is that because of your fees?
Oh, well, no, they get a third. So over here, like in Pennsylvania, I think across the United States, like it's a third. For civil litigation cases, it's a third. So
is that in law? Is it?
Yeah.
Is that in law?
Pardon?
Is that in law? Like you keep a third. Could you take more if you wanted, say half?
I think like probably if you, because it's a contingency fee. So I don't know if really, honestly, they can take more than that.
Right.
But I can tell you that our firm, like, they only took a third. And I think that's pretty much the standard. And I think workers' compensation cases here in Pennsylvania, the workers' compensation attorney gets 20%.
Okay.
But then you also have all of your other fees coming out, like, so, like cost of medical records, cost of depositions, like all that stuff also gets deducted off of what your client receives when they actually get their final settlement. So, I mean, if you have a lot of costs involved in a case, the client may not get much.
Oh, I see. So,
but they don't realize that either.
So, first of all, there are the costs, and then the amount of money left over, you take a third of that.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I'm with you. And
no. First, the attorney gets a third. So, say you get $100,000 as your the settlement, an attorney gets $33,333 of that right off the bat.
Okay.
And then after that, all of the fees are deducted. And then what's left over is what the client gets. From
the person's 2/3, the fees come out of that, yeah?
Yep.
Right, I'm
Yes.
with you. And that,
Yeah.
and they know that when they come to you, don't they? That is explained to them when they come to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they have to sign the contract. They have to sign the agreement.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
well,
haven't done like legal work in a long time. Now I work for a health insurance company.
Right.
So I work from home and I love my job and I like everybody that I work with and yeah, I love my job.
Good. I'm glad you do, Glenda.
And I make good money too. So.
Well, you've taught us something tonight. We didn't know I certainly didn't know how much attorneys got. I thought they got a lot of money, you know, when you see them driving around in these cars and the holidays. And...
But if you represent someone that has $1 million case, if they get $1 million, I mean, the attorney gets $333,333. So that's a pretty good fee.
That's not bad, is it? Perhaps I'll start earning that here on my YouTube channel. What do you think, Glenda?
Oh, you could. I mean, I told you should come over here and you could get into the, I don't know, the radio business or something here. And you could probably find yourself a boyfriend over here, too, because they'd really like you because they like English accent.
Do you know how many people have said that over the years? You know, where are you going on holiday? I'm going to Australia. Oh, you'll find someone over there. Oh, I'm going to. Oh, you'll find someone over there. Oh, you're going to America. Oh, you'll find. And it never happens, Glenda. Doesn't happen.
Well, do you put yourself out there though?
Not really. Not anymore. No, I don't. Really.
Oh, well, then you're not going to find somebody if you don't put yourself out there.
I suppose so. Never mind, Never mind.
My mom said she would have dated you.
Your mom?
She thinks you're pretty good looking. Yes. See, if you came to visit me, you could visit her then too. Oh, she'd love you.
Maybe the change would do me good, Glenda.
You could be my stepdad.
Pardon? Stepdad? Step-granddad more like now, I think. Oh, dear.
Oh, God.
Well, what
yeah.
an interesting phone call. Thank you so much, Glenda, for calling in. I can't believe I can believe it's 2 years now. 2 years since we spoke. Where's the time go, eh?
Yeah.
Where's the time go?
It surely goes fast. Yeah. I mean, I can't believe it's already the middle of April.
No.
And next weekend is Easter. So
That's
did you
right,
go to church today?
I did, yes. Palm Sunday, yeah. Yeah, we went to church.
Oh, good.
I went to 10:30
Did you get
today.
palms?
Next week, I'll be going to, hopefully, the church in Lincoln. The problem is, I won't get up to the caravan till about 2:30 in the morning. Then I'll get to bed. By the time I bought stuff in, it'll be like 3:30 in bed. And I haven't checked out what time. The mass is likely to be something like 10 o'clock, I would imagine. And it's an hour's drive from the caravan. So, you know, there is a more local church. But I really want to go to the big one in Lincoln, where I've been to a midnight mass twice before. But we'll see, whichever one I go to. But yeah, I will be, of course, every week, every week. And then the week after, I'm back down here playing the organ. So, yeah, for the, is it the Holy Family that week? I think it's the Holy Family, is it? I don't know now. Hang on. I haven't got it with me.
Is that a Catholic thing?
Yeah. I think it's the Holy Family, that one.
Does the Catholic Church give you palms? Like when I went to church today, they handed out palms.
Yes, I've got one.
Like the little, okay.
I've got one. Yeah. Divine Mercy. That's the one I'm playing at now. Do you know any of these hymns? We got Hallelujah, Give Thanks. Hallelujah, hallelujah, give thanks to the... And we got At the Name of Jesus. That's a powerful one. At the name of Jesus. And then Christ be our light. La, la, la. And you'll know this one. Thine be the glory. Thine be the glory. Da, 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 da,
my church, they don't really sing like old hymns. They sing new songs. And a lot of the songs, like my husband, when we were leaving today, he's like, why don't they sing like the hymns from the Bible? And I said, I don't know. It's all new songs, and half of them I don't even know. Because, I mean, when I went to church when I was younger, it was all like stuff, like verses from the Bible that we would sing, but they were made into songs.
Yeah, it's
old style hymns.
There's a great gap when I didn't go of all these new hymns that I'm having to learn as I go along. Even now, several years after I started playing again. But that's just how it is, isn't it, Glenda? Really.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for your call tonight, darling.
I'm gonna get going.
All right, my love.
Have a good Easter, and You take care.
Really appreciate you calling in, Glenda. Lots of love to you.
Yeah, lots of love to you too. And I pray for your country.
Thank you. Yeah, we need it.
I hope things get better for you.
Tell her.
All right. Have a good day.
Bye now.
Bye.
There we are, the lovely Glenda in Pennsylvania. Oh, how lovely to hear her voice after so long. She sounds exactly the same, of course. There we are. Lovely Glenda. Okie doke. We're on iPhone 21 now, are we? That's a 13, that is. Blimey, I'm sure it's a 13. Does that look like a mini 13? Because I find the phones really big now. I don't know about anyone else. Anyone else found the phones really big? They really are. Here we are, Jason. Always nice to hear and see the lovely Glenda. Thank you. Roy, the American thing is called the Treasury there, is it? Okay, that kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Weird City likes Trumps, but he doesn't like the tariffs. Thank you very much. Evening to hang on a minute. Evening to Keith George, joining us on TikTok today. Evening, Keith. God, you know the little photos on the TikTok thing, because we are on TikTok as well, the little photos are often too small to see, but your face just stands out, Keith. I should hope so, Sue, with the amount you paid for it, my love. Anyway, hello, Keith. Welcome to the show there. Right, I'm just going to scroll down quickly there. Let's see. Gary Ross, he got his house in 6 weeks after getting pointing by the housing about 15 years ago. He thinks where he is, so he's in the Northern Ireland, it's about 9 months to a year, the waiting list. That's not bad. Christ, it's a lot worse round here. It's a lot worse round here, being on a council housing list, you know. Cosmic's there. Evening to Cosmic. My local council does not have a housing list at all anymore. So how do you get on it then? How do you get on it? Or do you just have to rent privately now? I don't know what people do. I really don't. I've always considered myself a very lucky person. Very, very lucky to have always worked since my dad pushed me to work, because I didn't want to at first. I was frightened. I was scared of meeting loads of new people. I was quite safe in the school and all that. But my dad pushed me out, and it's seen me all right, you know. And Mum applied to British Telecom for me, actually. Big G, sign when I realised I was getting older. I don't run after the bus anymore. Happy to wait for the next one. Poor Gary. There we are. Big G says he couldn't run a bath now. You try, love, try. Don't forget to turn the tap off, especially in your flat. Poor Vera, she keeps getting water into her flat. Into the kitchen. It's dropping down from upstairs. I hope it's clean water. Ooh, nasty. Nasty. Roy, what's the USA equivalent of Specsavers? Are you in need of new glasses then, Roy? Why is that, love? I don't think I've ever seen you wear glasses, have I? Jason, if I ever went to the USA, Glenda is one person I would love to meet. Look at that. Oh, bless. Jason is very appreciative of your phone call there, Glenda. Evening to Ross Patzelt. Does your iPhone still work okay for an older model? Yes, perfectly, actually. Although there's quite a lot of cracks in it now. A little bit like the cracks in your face, Ross Patzelt, who was old at like 20. I never forget, he was on the radio once. I think he was about 27 at the time or something like that. And he says, oh, I'm getting old now. And he was 27. Some people wish themselves to get older, I swear. He wished he was older. And my God, I don't know how he's still alive, to be honest. 1 foot in the coffin, Ross Patzelt, he's known as now. Thank you very much. Cosmic, you don't... Oh, we're at the bottom of the list. Happy days. You don't... Any free houses... So there are no council lists where... Where is that, Cosmic? No council list where he is. You don't. Any free houses go to not local people, shall we say. Yeah, say no more. I think we know exactly what you mean. Glenda was just talking about this, wasn't he? There we are. Right, let's ask you again then, gang. What have you noticed about getting older? Anything at all, good or bad? You can call in. The phone line's open, 020 81443477. I noticed I was getting older, I think, with the odd pains. The odd pains. Oh, what's that? You know, something brand new that you've never had before. That, there was a constipation issue, which I had years ago. It went and came back around January. I think we're just about on top of it now. It seems to be okay now. I've now stopped taking the special powder that they put me on for weeks. Weeks. Like I say, it started at the beginning of January. Here we are, nearly halfway through April, and it seems to be okay now. Fingers crossed. That is an age thing. You look it up. It's one of those things. You know, one of the first things that, oh, you're not eating enough vegetables. I'm a bleeding vegetarian, mate. How can you say that? Oh, you're not drinking enough. But I've always drunk the same amount. Always drunk the same amount. The other thing I noticed, and it's one thing my mother said years ago. She said, oh, look at my hands. They're really old now. And I was like, oh, they're not, Mum. You know, I can't remember what I said. I probably didn't say that. You know, I would say something that I personally thought was funny, but is probably not funny now that I'm a bit older. And I think about it. And there's one of the things that Glenda said, wisdom. Some of the stuff I said in the past that I thought was funny at the time is actually not very funny, you know. Oh, look at my hands. They're really old. Oh, so they are. Why did you say that? You think to yourself. And now I have my mother's hands. Look, they're old now. And one of the things I notice, if I do that, right, and it stays like that, someone said to me, it's because you don't drink enough. Well, I think I do drink enough. I've, in the last 3 or 4 weeks, I've cut right back on the tea. And that's because the delightful lady in Boots the Chemist, who I went to, first of all, about this constipation thing, before I went to the doctors, told me, she said, you probably not, what do you drink? I said, well, tea. She said, how much? I said, gallons of the stuff. 8 large, yeah, that's the size of the cup. Look, 8 large cups a day. That's minimum. And she said, that's got to be your problem. Most people make that mistake. She said, it quenches you first, but tea actually dries you out on the inside. She said, swap a lot of it for water. How many cups should I have a day? She said, 1. Oh, my God. What, in the morning? You know, 1 cup a day. I'm probably having now 2 cups in the morning and 1 in the evening, but that's less than half of what I was having. And I've replaced it with warm water. I'm not too keen on cold water. Slightly warm water. And last night, for example, at work, I had 3 large Starbucks cups of warm water while I was at work. You know, you put the kettle on for like, I don't know, 20 seconds and it's warm enough, to be honest. So I've noticed that. Other things I've noticed. Type up what you've noticed about being older, or text it in 07451 287 337. What have you noticed about being older? Hey, type it up in the chat box and let's have a look at those. I forgot what I was going to say now. Oh, eyesight as well. Now, take those glasses off. It's a bit of a job to read what's in front of me now on the computer screen. Certainly, if you're in a supermarket, I mean, I don't take a pair of glasses out when I'm going to the bleeding shops. Why would I do that, you know? And then you pick up something and you want to see the ingredients. No chance, mate. It's just like a black mess in front of you, isn't it? You just can't see a thing, unfortunately. I'm trying to think of the other thing now. What it was now. Maybe not so much energy. I mean, I'm not too bad. I can't complain. I was in the swimming pool, but you know I do swimming and gym. I'll be going up to gym a little bit later on tonight. I do a night time on Sunday night. And now I've got my new bike as well, which I just love this new bike. Honestly, it's like being a teenager again. It's that easy. I couldn't use an old bike too much anymore because the side of one of my knees gives me great pain and suffering after I've got off it. It does happen when I'm on it, and then you a little bit. Your right leg is doing all the work because the left knee is a problem. Not on an electric bike because you just don't have to push the pedals so hard. you know, and I've got this new electric bike. And then this week I cycled down to Ascot, which isn't a huge distance, but I'm not used to doing more than just down the shops and back. So what I want to do now is build up. It's not so much your legs that ache, it's your arse on the cycle seat. It starts aching. You know, and you kind of lift it up a little bit, trying to get it off the bleeding seat. And it's not a comfortable experience sitting on a bike. But I remember I used to be on a bike and it never used to be a problem. And I think it's probably because I don't go very far. So I'd like to build up perhaps an arse resistance. I don't know what you'd call it. An arse resistance on a bike saddle so that I can go longer distances. During the pandemic, I went down to Virginia Water, which is about an 8-mile cycle away, which doesn't sound very far, but that means it's a 16-mile round trip. And I was all right going there. Coming back, within about 10 minutes, my arse started to really ache. Oh my God, I've got so much further to go. I mean, I made it, don't get me wrong, but you're like, oh God, like that. And I did buy another softer saddle, which I don't know, didn't appear really to make much difference, to be honest. And I'd like to be able to do that again, so I'll build up that. Ascot's not too far away to get there and back again. Plus, there's a nice baker's there, so you can stop there and have a sausage roll while you're looking at the race courses. And you never want to go there during a race meeting. Oh my God, the traffic is unbelievable. The traffic is unbelievable there. I'm trying to think. There was something else I wanted to tell you about getting older. Oh, I don't really want to go out. As in out. I say that. I do like to go out. That's a bit of a lie. I just don't do it much. One of my favourite nights out last year was with Vera when we went to the Royal Albert Hall to the Ministry of Sound event. And we were dancing all night. No problem. No problem. I had the bad arm there. And actually, at that particular thing was the first time when I had the dislocated shoulder back in January. So we went to this do in May, and I just couldn't lift up the arm anymore. And we were dancing away. I can't remember what the song, it might have been Insomnia, but I then lifted my arm. I thought, oh my God, look, Vera, it just came up on its own. And that was a great night. So perhaps I would like to go. I just can't be asked to get there. Do you know what I mean? Getting the car out or something like that to do the journey. Funnily enough, I'm quite happy going on a train. Now, I'll cycle to the train station, just mainline train station, Southwest Trains in Bracknell. Now, that's not, I mean, it is, you can walk there. It's about 45 minutes to walk from my house. Or you could take your bike up there. I wouldn't leave that new bike because it does look really nickable, that bike. I wouldn't want to leave that bike at the train station. So luckily, I've still got my pedal bike, and now and again it'll be all right. And I'll just leave that up. I mean, it's about 25 years old. I say no one's going to nick it, you know. But these bleeding druggies, they nick anything, for the next hit, wouldn't they? Do you know what I mean? I don't know who this is because you haven't sent your name in, but someone's texted in here. You also notice that young people can look at you as I remember looking at older people. Yeah, there is that. You know, have you ever tried to speak to, as I'm walking around Bracknell, I like to think I'm a friendly person. It's like, all right, hello, as I'm walking along, hello. You say it to some youngsters, they look at you like from you're another bleeding planet. And even when I'm at work doing my karaoke, there might be a group of youngsters on the table, and I'm a little bit of banter going forwards and to various different people, and you speak to them on the planet, and then they just all stop talking and look gormlessly at you. I mean, really gormless, and then back on the mobile phones. Tables full of youngsters, tap, 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 tap. That's all they're doing on the mobile phones all the time. Funny, isn't it? Mark says a lot of things come up on their own nowadays. Well, it wouldn't be on your own if I was there, would it, Mark? I'm trying to think, what was the other thing I was going to tell you about getting older? Oh, the fat. That's another thing. The fat comes on easy and will not shift. And I'm not doing anything different. I'm doing more exercise now than I ever did. I've got to be 5 times a week swimming, 60 lengths in a smaller pool, so let's say 40 lengths in a big pool, right? Right? Gym 3 times a week, only light stuff. Walking, doing litter picking yesterday, 2.5 hours. I walk or cycle every way here to and from the shops. No car comes out, except on a Friday and a Saturday to go to work. If it's pissing down with rain, I might get the car out to go and do something. Or going up to Lincolnshire. It's the only time the car ever comes out. Talking of which, the new one has arrived. Not here. The new car has arrived at Honda. And she said, you'll be able to pick that up next week. I said, well, I can't pick it up this week because I'm busy. I said, and Sunday I go up to Lincolnshire where I will be until Thursday. So you're going to have to hold on to it for 2 weeks. Is that a problem? She said, no problem whatsoever. No problem. So the new Honda car has arrived. And the payments go down about 40 quid a month. Yeah, times that by 12 months. Happy days. A saving of approximately £350, which I'd love to spend on Mark Bowles, but he's not here. He's not here. Vera says the NHS knows how old you are and wants you for various tests. Oh, yeah, I haven't done it yet. I've got the poo test here I've got to do. Oh, it's just... Oh, no, I don't... It's awful doing that. Scraping that... Oh, no, love. No. Ha, ha! Every 2 years, I think that, isn't it? What is the other thing I was going to tell you about getting old? I cannot remember for the life of me. Oh, dear. Is it medical? No. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. The biggest one, for me, things take so long now to sort themselves out when you've got a problem. The constipation has been like 4 months. You remember the big 2 chest infections I had last year? 5 months and 4 months. 2 of them, with a gap of about 3 months in between. I think I've got one at the moment, but it's kind of being kept at bay. I'm not sure, but I've got to go and see special doctor this week. Not special doctor, go in and give my bloods, and I might ask to see the walk-in doctor that we got at the clinic. It's not too bad. You haven't heard me cough yet, but I'm constantly clearing my throat all the time, and I don't know. And that's been so far about 6 weeks. Things take so long. Dislocated shoulder. How long did that take? 11 months? We're now at about, I would say, 96%. That hasn't come back completely. Like, there are times when it makes this strange clicking feeling when you're moving it around. But that's I can't complain. Can't complain. Could have been a lot worse, as you well know. So that was the other thing I was going to tell you. When you get ill, whatever it is, it seems to take forever to sort itself out. Oh, it's very, very annoying. Oh, look, there's another one of those stupid TikTok messages. We have detected inactivity in your program. Are they blind as well? Oh, it's a joke. That TikTok is a real joke, to be honest. I don't know why we bother with it. There's no one on there anyway watching. They pop on for a minute and then they go again and look for someone better looking, which, to be honest, when I'm sitting here, must be a bit of a job for them to find. Don't you think? If Glenda was here, my God, there'd be thousands of people watching, I swear. Gary's got the same mugs as me, yes. 50 pence they cost me, but careful, when they get old, the handle comes off. That happened to me. Luckily, there was nothing in it. The handle literally came off when I tried to get it out of the dishwasher, dear. Of course, yes, I have got a dishwasher. Yes, I've had one for years. Thank you very much. Cosmic, it's Arran District Council in West Sussex. If you're there, no housing list for you to join. Nothing for you to join there. Vera has 2 cups of tea a day. Is that all? Gosh, well, you're doing all right then, Vera. There you are. You're not dehydrated, darling. Apparently, I am dehydrated. People always say, "Oh, you're a bit dehydrated, aren't you?" Well, am I? I mean, I feel a little bit thirsty at the moment, but then I'm chatting crap all the time. That's why. Roy has 10 to 15 cups of tea a day. Yeah, but you don't have a problem either. You don't look old either, do you, Roy? You don't look old. Ross, if someone picked you up in a taxi right now and go out just for one night and do all the stuff you did on a night out and stay out till 6 a.m. like when you were younger, would you fancy it? No. Not at the age I am now. If that taxi man, I could go in the taxi and immediately wipe 63, 53, 42. If I could wipe 20? Yeah. If I could wipe 20 years off my life when I went in that taxi, yes, I would. But at 62, I have no interest at staying out until 6 in the morning. I can't think of anything worse. Well, I can, I suppose, having my bike nicked, for example, but there we are. Gary drinks a lot of supermarket bottled water, 3 litres a day. All in plastic bottles, though, Gary. All that plastic, dear. There must be tiny little slivers of plastic in that water entering your bloodstream, dear. Glass bottles, that's what you want, my love. Gary does Boost energy drinks. Not good. Not good, all that stuff. Boost and what was the first one that come out? Blue tin, innit? Can't remember. Blue and silver tin, them ones. I did have that for a while, actually. And it just feel like it was stripping the teeth, my enamel from teeth. Even into George Bond joining us there. Kevin, already done my test, Chris. Poo test. Sent it back. Yeah, I've got to do this. Does anyone want a video? Do I need to do a little video of me doing this? Just to help people. What do you want to see in the video? Close-ups of inside the toilet. Oh, dear. I think we said hello to Built in Scotland, didn't we? Evening to John Waterman. High-grade gaming in a while. Yes, it has been a while. It's been a very long time, thank you. Red Bull. Thank you, Jason. That's the one. Red Bull. Oh, it says here there's a person at my utility room entrance. Is there really? Oh, let's have a look here. Intruder alert! Chris Reardon's house. Intruder alert! Who's she? Walking past my house. I got no right to walk past my front door. Hang on a minute. Garden, utility. We got loads of cameras. I saw Roy last night. No, Friday night. I noticed he had a couple of Ring cameras. I said, well, let's have a look then. He's got like 2 cameras. Look, 7. Thank you very much, lovey. We love it. Keeping a beady eye on people who have got the audacity to walk past my house. Let's have a look. Person detected. Oh. Who is she? Look. She realised she can't go any further. Look, here. I don't care. I'll show you. Shouldn't walk past my camera. Watch. Look, who's that? Never seen her before. Look. And she realised she can't get any further. And go back the other way. Bye, bitch. Chic. Cameras everywhere, Gary. Yes. I want to work at one of those places, that the police have, where they're watching the speed cameras. And they just, gotcha. Hey, I bet they love that job. What sort of pervs are watching people on there anyway? Pervs, darling. God knows what they're doing. No one's talking about getting older. What a waste of time that was then. No video for Vera, really? Oh, DJ George Bond gets a lot of juice. He drinks a lot of juice. There we are. No, Mark doesn't want a video. That's okay, Mark. No video for you then, darling. Maybe you'd like to make him. We could do our OnlyFans. Council Trash J has now got his OnlyFans account. Yes, he has. Plus, we could do an OnlyFans, could we? Evening to Dean. Evening, Dean. You're a bit late, Dean. We've been here since 6 o'clock. Why are you so late? We're talking about getting older at the moment. What about getting older? What have you noticed about getting older? I came out here with some positives I found on the internet. Wisdom. That's the thing. We do have a bit more wisdom. I think we can see things differently. Certainly on my bike. On my new electric bike. Specialised bike. On my new bike. And I've been the same on all my bikes for years. I come to a junction, I slow down. Especially if it's blind. In between houses. Not the youngsters. Twice this morning, there's a road on the way to shopping centre and church. And I'm on the left. There's a little bit of a blind corner there on the left. And in the middle comes this lad tearing. And he, to be fair, oh, sorry, mate. But he didn't look. It could have been so much worse. And again, coming home, same thing. Another corner. And as I'm coming, I braked a little bit as I'm getting to the corner. And another young lad again, just in the middle. Straight. Oh, he slammed his brake. Oh, sorry, mate. It's all right. I understand these things. Hi, Vera. All right.
Yes, thank you. I'm fine.
It's Vera from Vera's Choice in the Morning. Would you like your jingle, Vera? I think we can get
Yes,
away with
please.
playing your jingle. Stand by. Oh, hang on. Stand by.
Vera's Choice in the Morning.
Yeah.
Reach on air.
Thanks for calling in, Vera, to this Mirrorball television and radio studio complex in the heart of Berkshire. Are you talking about getting older?
Yes.
Because I do
Well, I'm 2 years.
think...
I'm 2 years older than you.
I do think that you are the oldest person here, by far.
Yes, I am.
Wow. And yet you don't look the oldest.
Depends on what time of the morning it is.
Oh, does it? Well, when you can get up in the morning, that is. I mean, you're not always here, are you, my love?
No. That's
And
because
I know tonight, when I've been to the gym and I come back and I watch a bit of telly, maybe have a piece of toast, I go into bed and I put Alan Ross on Reach on Air, who is a very good friend of mine. Alan Ross, Reach on Air, tonight at 12 midnight, gang. When I listen to him, I'll hear messages coming from you and I think, oh, that's nice, Vera's there. And then when I'm doing my show in the morning at 9 o'clock, you're not there. That's where you can find me in the morning, gang. Have a look at your screens now, all right? Carry on, Vera. We can talk to you while I'm showing the clock.
Yes,
People are really
yes,
enjoying
you
the
can
clock tonight.
Show your clock, all you like, love.
Thank you. Did you say clock?
Clock, yes.
Thank you, darling.
One you
Yes.
put on the wall.
Yes.
Yes.
Who is it?
Yes, I am 2 years older than you.
Yes.
But then I don't understand why you are falling apart.
I don't understand it either. All that exercising.
Yeah, exactly. You do more exercises than I do.
I know. I think it's very, very important to keep moving as you get a little bit older. Don't fall into the armchair.
No,
Unless
definitely not.
Unless you're in a wheelchair or something, then, my heart goes out to you. But if you can move, you should move around as much as possible. I try and keep going, even through illnesses and things, as much as I can.
Mm.
Yeah.
So what have I noticed as I'm getting older? Young people, they kind of tell me how old I'm getting, but then I know how to speak their language, so that's fine.
Do you?
As long as you know how to speak their language, you're part of the crew. You're not old.
Can you do that stupid South London accent that some of the boys there do?
South London accent.
Yeah,
I didn't think there was
the
such a
white
thing.
boys do it. They put on this South London accent, and it just sounds so stupid. There's a few of them on TikTok as well. Oh, honestly, it does. It sounds so stupid coming out of their mouths. And it's only the white boys that do it, eh?
Yeah, but the thing is, you see, this is what makes me laugh. I mean, my accent is my accent 24 hours a day.
You don't have an accent, Vera. You haven't got one.
The way I speak is 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
Now, the people who do this, they only do it on the street with their friends. The minute they go home, the accent changes because they can't do it at home in front of their parents.
Not
Well,
in front
some
of
of
their
them
mums.
are like that. They're all
Certainly.
prim and proper when they get home.
Oh, yeah. I bet they are. I bet they are.
And of course, by the time they get home, they pull their pants up, tighten the belts, and everything come to normal. They're not sagging anymore.
No more sagging. No more
No
sagging.
more sagging.
There's this boy on TikTok. He can't be any more than 18. He's got like a dodgy, rude account, shall we say, as well. And he says, okay, get the likes up. When we get to 20,000 likes, I'm going to do some sagging. People are sending him all these likes so that he drops his trousers about 2 inches below his waistline and has his arse hanging out of his underpants. Although not naked, because
No.
he'd be blocks for something like that. People send him likes to take his trousers down 2 inches. What's all that about?
Well, then that's what people want. I mean, I don't know. I don't understand the whole
Maybe I should-
TikTok thing.
Maybe I should try that next week at the karaoke. Can you see me
No,
doing
no.
sagging?
I beg you, please don't do it.
Oh.
I don't want to go blind overnight. Thank you very much.
A little bit hurt with that comment, to be honest, Vera. I don't know if I'm more hurt at that comment or when I hear you listening to Alan's Ross Radio and joining in and then not turning up for mine in the morning. It's very hurtful.
But whose fault was that? Years and years ago, who introduced me to Alan Ross?
Well, yeah, because it's a good listen. That's why.
Yes, that's true, and I haven't stopped listening since.
Well, there you go.
That's been 4 years, 5 years now? Something
Mind
like
you,
that.
he's there week in, week out. He doesn't start taking off time, just because his daughters or something like that happen to be on school holiday, like certain people that we know who don't send prizes. When they win them on his radio show, Ross pats out.
Yes, I know. It's terrible, isn't it?
Jason thinks I should try it at the church while I'm playing the organ. Sagging.
What, sagging? Oh. Well, you probably do it anyway and not realise. Because you're forever pulling up your trousers, aren't you? So it must be sagging.
Well, they fall. Yeah, Ross is there now. We don't ask much, Ross. Just that you turn up for your duties at the relevant times without coming out with these very feeble excuses. Oh, my daughters are on holiday. Feeble excuse. But I think the worse than that is where you promise money and various prizes to people doing your shows, and that people, duly join in your shows in the hope to win a small prize. In my case, I think it was £1,000. And then
I think I heard correctly.
And the other thing that he clearly has made up is that the bank isn't working at the moment. The app isn't working.
Or could it be an age thing that he just, losing his memory?
I think so. Dementia has set in. Mind you, that's good because Ross, whenever he sees Kylie Minogue, he thinks it's a brand new beautiful woman appeared in front of him because of dementia. He doesn't remember the last time. Who is it?
Yeah. I think you're losing the plot.
By the way, gang, I'm assuming that no one's being interrupted by adverts on the show today.
No.
So I've
adverts.
got that right now. We've got rid of the adverts. I was just doing my head in. See, if you're not here to make money, what's the point in having them in the first place anyway? I keep, when it comes to the record, those of you that watch the show as a recording, I have to remember to click a button afterwards because they just seem to come on automatically. But, yeah.
Mm.
Isn't that an interesting fact, Vera? Anyway, tell me more about you getting older.
The what, sorry?
Tell me more about you getting older, love.
Oh, getting older. I think I must have been sort of 50, no, not 55, maybe older than that when I realised I'm short-sighted.
Oh, right, okay.
I became short-sighted.
Right.
I'm the only one in the whole entire family who is short-sighted. No one else is. Everyone else long-sighted.
Isn't that funny?
And I'm not sure how that's possible when everyone else in the whole entire family is long-sighted. I happen to be short-sighted, and I don't know how that happened.
Okay, well, there's nothing wrong with that.
But then,
I've never seen you wear glasses.
But the funny thing is, that's the con side of things, being short-sighted. But the pro side of things, when I go out with my family, they want my eyes because they can't read the menu.
What strange people. People actually want your eyes.
No, because they don't bring their glasses with them when they go out.
Right,
and they can't read the menus when they're in a restaurant, and they can't read the fine prints anywhere. Then they say, can you read that for me? And I think, well, why am I reading everything for you lot? I'm the youngest out of all of them, but yet they can't be bothered to bring their own glasses with them. Oh. They're all car drivers, so that's why they don't need glasses.
Yeah. Any pros to getting older, Vera? I mean, have you got a bus pass, love?
I've got, it's not a freedom pass. You don't get that until, I think it's 67 years old. I've got the over 60s plus Oyster card, which I pay £10 a year for.
Yep. And what do you get with that?
And I've used that to its full advantage because, I work during the week at Sainsbury's, so I can travel to work on that, free of
Yeah.
charge. I go on the Underground Central Station. I'm going out and about central London, museum, theatres, cinemas. That would have cost me, I don't know, the amount of money I would have spent that week would probably range of about £40 a week I would spend on travel.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm saving all that money. So I'm taking full advantage of that.
Good.
And do you have something like that where you are?
I don't know. I bought a senior citizen rail card, and that saves me a third of all train journeys.
Oh.
So, for example, I'll be going to the clinic this week, and instead of being like, I think it's like 20, about 20 quid, it's like 12.
That's not bad.
Yeah, yeah. So happy days, and it's nicer than going in the car. To be honest, getting a couple of trains. It's like when my trips to London and all that, and as you know, I come in by train all the time now, except for work, and it becomes for me. I like trains, so it becomes part of the night out. The actual journey itself, rather than oh God, I've got to drive into London and find a parking space. Oh, I'm going on the train today. And then I get off at Waterloo Station, Waterloo or Richmond. This week it'll be Richmond. I get off at Richmond, and then I get an overground train. I don't even know because they've named the lines different. An overground train to Hampstead Heath, which isn't actually Hampstead Heath. It's like in the village part of it. And I come out of there. I literally walk across 2 roads, and I'm in the hospital. Happy days.
Well, I'll be doing one of my longest train journeys in August soon. I'll be going from London, King's Cross, to Edinburgh.
Oh, that is a long journey. Oh,
yeah,
gosh.
I've done it before.
How many hours?
About 4 hours.
You see, it's a lot quicker than by driving, isn't it, eh?
Certainly is.
Yeah. How much is that, Vera?
That cost me return, because I'm going to be up in Edinburgh for 3 days, or 2 nights and 1 day, £136 return.
God.
But I got in there early because it's August is the Edinburgh Fringe, so I have to get as soon as the 1st of August, April appeared. I had to get in there for August because August wasn't being shown on the LNER system yet. So as soon as it appeared, I booked it straight away because I knew if I left it, the prices would go up.
Wow. I'm just gonna see how much it was for me. When did you go? August.
Yes.
August. Okay. Train tickets. Let's have a look. Book in advance and save. Is it LNER?
Yes.
Right. I wonder if it's how much it will be with my train ticket. What's the date you're going?
The 18th of August.
Okay, for 3 days, is it?
Well, it's 3 days. I come back on the 20th, I think.
Okay.
On the Wednesday.
Right. There we are. Senior Citizens Rail Card. That's got to be on there somewhere. Where is it? Club 50. Senior Rail Card. 1 adult, 1 card. Outward journey. So 18, 19, 20. So come back on the 21st, yeah?
Yeah.
Of August. 21st. Depart after 9 a.m, I suppose. 9 a.m. Right, search for train tickets. Senior rail card. Let's see what this is going to cost me there as a matter of interest. And I think we'll have to go. Blimey, it's 5 to 8. Well, that's so much for the shorter show. Oh, Roy got an advert for YouTube, on YouTube for a Lincoln church. Yeah. Ross says it's about the quality, not the quantity. Oh, sorry, we've encountered an error while searching for your ticket options. Please try again. Hang on. Can we go backwards? Oh, 13. Okay, 13. Let's try it again. Why don't these things ever work, Vera? Senior Citizens Rail Card, which is what I've got. Okay, and where's the... There we are. Return date was the 21st, wasn't it? 18th to 21st. I bet we can't get this to work now. I'm just interested to see what it would have cost me. I'll also assume 18 to 21. There we go. 18 to 21. Depart after 9 a.m. And searching train tickets now. Let's see if it works this time. If not, we'll have to go because it's time, dear. Gary, I haven't gone yet. Why are you... Oh, no, it won't work. Can't get it to work. How stupid is
we'll
that?
do that another time.
How stupid is that? How annoying is that? Because I wanted that to see how much I was going to pay. But there you go. No, it's not going to work. Never mind, Vera.
Okay, well, you take care because we've only got, 5 more minutes left now.
Yeah, no, I'm going. Tell her, love.
Goodbye.
Bye, Vera. There we are. Oh, we had a nice couple of little phone calls today, didn't we? Good, fantastic. All right, we'll wrap it up there, gang. Don't forget my my sister's on soon. If you go onto YouTube and type it in... oh, hang on, there's a message here from Mark. Hang on a minute, where's the Mark? When's the new backdrop coming? There is no new backdrop at the moment. Actually, the place I used to get them from no longer does them. I have found other places, but to be honest, they're a bit psychedelic, Mark. Do you know what I mean? And I don't like the ones I'm looking at the moment, so I'm trying to find another one. Actually, I've been looking for another one, believe it or not. My favourite one that I ever had was the mushrooms one. I don't know if you remember, which I still have, but I don't like to use the same thing twice, you know. And, yeah, that's it. Anyway, time to go, gang. Now, don't forget, if you're around in the morning, do join me on Twitch, okay? Download Twitch free of charge. Set up your little account there. And then look for me, Chris Reardon UK. And you can join us tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, music and chat show. It's great fun. I love doing that in the morning, okay? It's also, if you can't join us in the morning between 9 and 10 o'clock, Monday to Friday, then you can join us on Tuesday nights, okay? Same place. There you go. 9 till 11 p.m. on Tuesday night. Or if you just want to listen and don't need to watch, just go to reachonair.com. There's a little listen box there. Click it and it'll just play through your speakers or on your mobile phone, something like that. If you've got an Amazon device, okay, go on your Amazon app, enable the skill Reach on Air, and on air is all one word. So reach space on air. On air is all one word. Enable that skill, close it, and then you can say Amazon play Reach on Air, and she'll just play the noises coming out of me on the loudspeaker. Alrighty, thanks very much for watching, gang. No show next Sunday night because I will hopefully definitely be up the caravan unless something else happens. Okay, but it's very likely I'll be up at the caravan. I hope so anyway next week because I'm already late now by a whole week, and I've got to pay Harry, great nephew Harry. Has painted my veranda for me as a job, so I've got to hand some cash over to him. I think it's his first paid job. See, I'm trying to get him, work, earn money. So I'm trying to get that into his head, so it'll be easier as you get older. All right, I'm going now. I can't find my little close button. There it is, right at the end there. Have a lovely evening, and do enjoy the Butler's Empire channel. Go to YouTube, type in Butler's Empire. It'll come up at the top there, and they're on with you in 2 minutes' time. See you soon. Bye-bye now.